Hello everybody, this is Anaris here with a Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 commentary on the map Lost Temple. We have Kiwikaki spawning as the Protoss in the 12 o'clock position. His opponent will be the disgusting little snake, hate snakes, down here as the Red Zerg. So I guess that's fitting. Snake as the Zerg in the 6 o'clock position. And while these guys start to build, I do want to give you all a reminder. If you have not gone to my YouTube channel yet, there is a contest going on where you could win a $60 PvZ gift card. This is a contest that I'm doing in coordination with the game station, so you should definitely come and enter it. It's really easy to do. Basically, you have to be subscribed to the game station and myself, Anaris Starcraft. And I mean, really, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, you should definitely give it some thought. Head on over to youtube.com/AnarisStarcraft and just hit that little subscribe button. It really helps me out when you do that. So anyways, subscribe to both of those channels, and then there's a little video over there that says Holiday Contest from TGS and Anaris. Watch the video, it gives you the instructions. Basically, you make a post where you respond to the question, if you were given $50,000 and one stuffed plush capybara, how would you use it to promote esports? Okay? That's all you really have to do. Just subscribe to those channels and answer that question in the comment section of that video. And then you will be entered into the chance to get the, entered in the contest rather, to get the $60 PvZ gift card. And about eligibility, basically if you are able to use a PvZ gift card where you live, then you're eligible. If you're not, then I'm terribly sorry. I guess PvZ hasn't expanded down to Antarctica yet. But for most other people, that should cover you. So let's tune into the game here and see what's going on now that we're a couple minutes in. We see nothing too crazy is going on at this point in the game. There is a probe over here from Kiwikaki keeping an eye on the expansion, and there's no drone currently being sent out. I do want to point out that he is currently 17 out of 26, does have a spawning pool down. So, but he is actually, oh, nice slip by of the probe right there, completely missing the drone. Heading out to drop the expansion, and there it goes, unhindered by any Protoss harassment whatsoever. Nice play. Now, will he drop any pylons? No, it looks like he will not. He will not block the ramp. So he's going to be heading back to the base here, where he does have a cybernetics core going down. And I do want to note he does have the second geyser claimed without dropping any other gateways or anything like that. And he does have a zealot on the way as well, so that'll be able to block off that nice little choke point right there. That's, you know what, when I see these walls, I generally think that we're going to have some sort of Protoss tech play, especially because of the fact that he does have the second geyser before any other structures. And he's not even warping in warp gate technology yet. So, look up, oh my god, there's a Stargate right there. Yes, I think we might see some Void Rays, or maybe even Phoenix harassment. Do not see that enough. Very kind of a quirky thing to transition from. But here come a couple Zerglings from Snake's base. Going to try to do a little bit of damage, pull out the Zealot. He will not be able to, though, because it is on the hold command. This is actually a pretty good idea here for Snake to do this while he is dropping down this expansion. The probe is still hanging out by here, by the way. Just keep an eye on it. While he is dropping down this expansion, he wants to be on the offensive, keeping the Protoss at bay, as this is really the most effective. This is the most effective way that you can make sure that your expansion will not come under pressure. Is basically if you can just go on the offensive while it's building. General good rule of thumb there. While expanding, attack, or while attacking, expand. Keep that in mind. The more you know. Queen coming down here to hang out with the hatchery, save a little bit of time building it from this first hatchery over here, which is now morphing into a lair. As we look in the Protoss base right now, the Void Ray is about 3/4 complete, Chrono boosted out and everything. Zerg is not quite prepared for this. He does have the one queen here. Also has got the one queen here. But he is getting the second extractor. No spore crawlers, no anti-air, other than those two queens. They will have to be very strong indeed if they want to kill this one Void Ray, which is coming down right now crossing the map. There is a spine crawler going down. You are not a spore crawler, sir. You cannot attack air units. We'll have to see how this is handled here. I'm guessing this Overlord is probably going to take the first batch of it. Maybe even charge up on it. I do not know. We'll see. Here it comes just past the Overlord right now. Looks like he is going to charge up on it. This Overlord will surely drop as it is now 2 charges. Almost up to 3, and has now 3. Very dangerous weapon indeed. Now it's focusing down the queen and trying to kite away from the second queen there. Very good micro. Oh, but it's still being shot at by the one at the top of the ledge. It's going to have to retreat back just a little bit here. Well, he will see the Zerglings that are taking down the rocks. He's actually choosing to charge up a little bit on those Zerglings. But obviously he's not going to be able to do that because their Zerglings have such low hit points and just, well, they're fast. They're very, very fast. All right, so here comes the Void Ray Harassment on the mineral line here. Might do a little bit of damage, although I don't know how much it's going to do because of the fact that there is that queen there. And look how much damage has been taken on this one Void Ray. It's down to about 65% health, as we do have a second one coming on the way, third one being chrono boosted out. Snake coming up here with the Overlord and probes. He'll see these probes being transferred here. Actually, good timing on that. So he won't even have to scout over here, and he will already know that there is an expansion on the way. Here comes a little bit of a Zergling harassment on the... oh, man, poor guys. That's just not even fair. I want to cry when I see that. Oh, they're hiding in the bushes. I don't think that's going to work out for them too well. Nice try, though, guys. Nice try. All right, so we see that there is actually a Spire on the way. I was looking for that for a second there. Snake has a Spire, so some Corruptors would definitely be nice. Also, maybe a little bit of Mutalisk harassment. In the mineral line, as we can see, his own anti-air capabilities not that hot. Doesn't have any cannons guarding the base or anything. Just running off a couple gateway units at the natural, blocked off in a pretty good defensive position. As we have two more these two Void Rays coming down here. One queen is already here on the scene. Second one coming and joining the fight, trying to take it down. Shields are just about gone, but I think they will be fine running away. Third Void Ray is now here. Once again, we might have an engagement under the cover of the high ground right there. This extractor certainly will not last very long. But what is this? A bunch of Corruptors coming in here with the queens. Oh my God! This Void Ray is almost dead. Look at that. One down. Second one is on the way very quickly as Snake is microing away one of these Corruptors. Will this third one go down? There's really no way at this point he's going to be able to live. And, oh man, that is certainly not good at all for Kiwikaki. He was able to take down this Extractor, charging up his Void Rays, but the might of the Snake Corruptors wins again. Alright, so looking at the base right here, we can see the general layout. Don't really have a whole bunch going on. He is upgrading his Overlords as we speak. Also, he's getting a Hydralisk in. Hydra with Corruptor, very powerful force indeed, especially versus Void Rays, if that's what the Protoss continues to get. We see that he's not really focusing that much on the gateway units. Does he have Warp Gate technology yet? Has he got... Okay, yes, he has got it yet. That's good. So, 2 more Stargates are on the way. He's really going to be looking to push these Stargates, man. This is, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to pull this off. He'll have to have a good mixture, and definitely some high flower power. This is Mario Brothers apparently, as he does take down the destructible rocks next to his base, guarding the high yield expansion. That income will surely help him out here. Looking at the income, speaking of which, we can see right now the Protoss is slightly above the Zerg. 59 to 51 harvesters, and that's going to directly translate into some additional income for the minerals. Both are running off of 2 guys. There's 3 drones on each one, so that's pretty secure. And I do want to point out the units lost just real quick here. We can see that Snake has lost the quality, but definitely, or the quantity, but definitely not the quality. Those 2 Void Rays, man, 3 of them, that really hurt there in the early game. They just really did not do enough damage. As we see Snake sending out a whole boatload of Overlords. Look at that. He's actually sending them all across the map. I'll just show you the vision here real quick. See that? He's doing a nice spread. Getting an idea of pretty much what's going on. Oh, no! Overlord, you're not a fighting unit. You don't even have arms. Actually, you have like too many arms. But that's okay, because the Protoss is still sitting pretty good position here. He's, despite the fact that there are Overlords all around the map, the Protoss definitely does have the upper hand here for the moment in map control. But I do want to point out that there are a nice chunk of roaches coming out here now. And if we look at the Zerg production tab, we see more roaches and Corruptors are on the way, as well as a slew of upgrades. A roach upgrade, weapons 1 for the aerial units, Hydralisk range upgrade, and also another hatchery here at the high yield, which is being harassed by the Zealot, but obviously not going to last too long at all. Looking at the Protoss, so we can see he is dropping down a bunch of cannons at the high yield expansion. I guess he doesn't want to keep a whole lot of units here we are seeing more Void Rays come in for Kiwikaki, who is still just kind of focusing mostly on air. He has some sentries, and I think the force fields will be helpful in separating the roaches. But I think it's really going to come down to if he has enough to deal with the Hydras and the Corruptors. I really am not too sure at this point. There are a lot of Corruptors here, folks. All those corruptions being thrown down with a little bit of good micro combined with the Hydralisks, which I still don't actually see if he has any Hydralisks. Let's take a look at the units here. No, he does not have any Hydralisks just yet. He will probably have to get those fairly soon, as he is actually dropping a creep repository at the top of his base right there. Good stuff indeed. Always a very good idea for Zerg players to get that creep spread all around the map, as not only does it give speed, but it gives you the vision. There's some Hydras joining the party. Alright, right there. So combined with the corruption ability, they will be able to do a boatload of damage. I guess today's cast is brought to you by the word boatload, ladies and gentlemen. How much that is, I do not know, but you can fill a boat and tell me yourself. 2 evolution chambers dropping, very good idea, as his forces definitely are very, very ground heavy right now. Good idea to get a bunch of Hydras. You can see more are on the way, as well as, let's go to the production tab here. We can see Weapons 1 and Armor 1 for the ranged attacks. Oh, here comes the first attack from the Zerg player. May decide to go for the high yield, where he will see there are a good number of cannons, as well as some nice group of sentries here, and a ton of Void Rays. He has claimed the Zelnaga Watchtower, so he sees pretty much what's going around in this area. Doesn't see too much in the way of an army, so he is going to make a play on the high yield, but retreat because of the cannons. The cannons themselves are not that dangerous, but he's probably thinking the Protoss army is somewhere up here, and he doesn't want to get sandwiched in between the cannons and the army. Now here comes the first big engagement. Force fields going down. Look at that great blocking off of all of those units, all the roaches having to go all the way around. Meanwhile, the corruption ability is spread on a good number of the Void Rays, but I'm not sure if it will be enough, as a lot of those Hydras were blocked off there at the beginning. Only some of them were able to fire. Meanwhile, the roaches are actually going to make a play up here at the natural. There are some stalkers here to drive them back, but there are a bunch of roaches. Look at that right there. He's actually moving in. Will he make a play with the expansion, or maybe just the mineral line? I do not know. He's moving out here. Oh, looks like he's going to try to focus down the expansion. Will he get it down? The shields are 25%. Shields are now gone. Now he's doing damage to the main building there. Void Rays are trying to do some damage, but they're not even charged up. They cannot get charged up there. There's just too many roaches there. Oh my god, expansion does go down. Oh, Snake doing a fantastic push there, sacrificing a good chunk of units, but he was able to save some of them. Look at that. The Hydralisks are pretty much all retreating back to the base to meet up with the next batch of forces coming down the line here, which I assume is in just a minute or two. Weapons 1 and Armor 1 are just about complete, but look at what the Protoss is warping in. We got a mothership on the way, folks. This will certainly help out with those roaches. But we'll have to see if he has other ground units to kind of complement the force that he has right now. Oh, there's the lag ship right there, heading to the mineral line. Well, you don't belong on the mineral line. You don't even whatever. You can just sit there. You're cool enough. You can do what you want. Poor changelings over here dying super quick. Not the best assimilation of those units into the army. But I do want to point out there is a nice group of expansions for both players here. You can see that Kiwikaki has also claimed this one. Once again, the cannons, he's not really putting those cannons down to do a heavy defense, but he wants to be able to have something there just long enough to allow the Protoss player to respond and also give him something to sandwich in between. Oh, here comes the mothership right there, being chased by the Hydralisks. The shields are going down really quickly. It does have the one weapon upgrade, but there's more force fields down, as the Void Rays are now outranging a good bunch of those units. However, the frontline Hydras are able to shoot nonetheless. There is an Overseer here, so the cloaking is negated, but there's, oh man, look at that. The Zerg is actually having to retreat just a little bit here. Overseer moving in. Will the Protoss focus that down? I do not know. He is having to retreat back to the mothership, though. Got to keep that cloaking in, despite the fact that that Overseer is there. You really just do not want to lose that mothership. That is a huge investment of money and time and everything else here, as we see those Hydras are going to finally die as the Protoss army is whittled down just a little bit more. A couple more roaches coming in here, going to do a little bit extra damage. Not too much, though. Just kind of Just kind of keeping a little bit of pressure on the Protoss player while the Zerg retreats with the rest of his forces. Once again, he is regrouping right now, and it looks like he's going to be pushing with the same composition as we saw earlier. He has 10 Corruptors on the way, as well as a bunch of Roaches. Weapons, too, as well. Protoss is responding with a couple Void Rays coming down the pipe here, and not being chrono boosted, though. Well, it looks like he does have 100 energy there. He is rebuilding this expansion, though. But we see that his army isn't looking quite as strong as last time, and the economy now, it's still about even, but the gas is definitely up for Snake, so he will be able to produce, the heavy gas units like the Corruptors in mass. I mean, they're not even that heavy in gas, certainly heavy, but when you're building this many of them, you better have some high gas income, or else you're just not going to be able to maintain it at all. Or if you can, you're going to be stuck with a whole bunch of Corruptors and Zerglings. But I do want to point out, Snake has pretty much this half of the map. You can see a nice diagonal line cut right there in the mini-map as this expansion starts to take shape here in just a second. Once again, Zerg moving out of the range of the mothership there for the Protoss. Kiwikaki coming in, running his units behind the mothership, which is now going to take all of the damage, but not before. Oh man, nice vortex right there as all of the Corruptors are soaked into it. I think actually Snake is trying to do that on purpose. He wants all of those units to come in as soon as possible and pop up really close to the Protoss. Oh, nice ball of Zerg popping out right there, as all these Corruptors are pretty much going to be bored in about 2 seconds, but not before taking out all of the Void Rays. Meanwhile, Roaches and Hydras pushing their way up through the Stalkers, forcing the Protoss to retreat, as there are a couple Void Rays now popped up, but certainly not enough to deal with this many Corruptors. You can see 13 of them right there, as well as a bunch of Roaches. A couple of them are not able to shoot, though. You can see them dancing around. So nice positioning by Kiwikaki getting in there, although I do want to point out that he did spread corruption on some of the Stalkers there as well, so I'm sure that it's helping out with the Roaches against the Stalkers down there at the expansion. I think this expansion is going to be safe once again, but I do want to point out there is more stuff coming down the line here. You can see a bunch more Hydras and Roaches, and at this point I think it's just going to be wearing down the Protoss player is going to be the name of the game for Snake, as he's wearing them down just a little bit more each time he's able to. Basically, he's pumping just a tiny bit more than his opponent, and really that gas is going to start catching up with him. He's getting an infestation pit, but I'm not sure if it's going to be necessary at this point, because you look at Kiwikaki, he is now forced to make Zealots, even though he does have a boatload of resources right there. Look at that. He's sitting on 2k resources, 800, where his opponent is sitting on about 1,200 to 700. But he is certainly producing non-stop here. It is cutting that back just a little bit during the attack itself, as the Stalkers are getting some free shots on the Corruptors. Hydra's over here trying to do a bunch of damage while under the cover of the Roaches, pushing up to the top of the ramp here. Will he make it? The expansion is certainly in a lot of trouble, as it is, well, quite dead. Stalkers are pretty much all that's left here to defend against the Zerg onslaught. Sentries are warping in here. One force field does go down. This is going to delay the attack just a little bit. I think he actually still can sneak up right there. Yep, it's not the best placement for the force field, but there's a bunch of Corruptors there, so you can't exactly see what you're doing. Zerg is certainly sitting in a fantastic position here, making a play up at the top of the base here, under the cover of the Corruptors, still knocking out the power to the gateways. And there is the GG from Kiwikaki, allowing Snake to take this game here on Lost Temple. So very good game for both players. Saw a lot of the tech tree explored today. And I do want to remind you once again, make sure you go to my channel. That's youtube.com/Anaris Starcraft, and subscribe to it, and also enter the contest so you guys can have a chance to win the $60 Visa gift card. Alright, so that's pretty much all I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed the game, and I will see you guys later.